welcome back to another episode of our Kings-related podcast, wherever you may be. And it finally happened. On the day of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Phoenix Suns have traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 pick in Wednesday's first round, and 5 second-round picks, which sends ripple effects across the Western Conference. And what does it mean for the Sacramento Kings for this offseason under Scott Perry to reshape this Kings roster for the 2025-26 season? But first, if you're watching this on our Kings-related YouTube channel, please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. That is very appreciated, and it really helps us out here as it shows our videos to more people within the YouTube algorithm. So what does the Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets mean for the Sacramento Kings? The Phoenix Suns, they get younger, but also add depth to their team, and they're a little less dangerous in the short term, because with KD gone, the Phoenix Suns, they lose their top offensive weapon. And even if Jalen Green, who's 23, and Dillon Brooks, if they both can grow into complementary pieces for Phoenix, it likely will take time for them to gel with their new team. But this also weakens the Suns in the Pacific Division and the Western Conference, which could open the door for the Sacramento Kings to reclaim some sort of ground that they lost these last 2 years of underperforming seasons. Houston, they become more aggressive, and by adding Kevin Durant to Fred VanVleet, Alfred Sengun, Corey Eason, Amin Thompson, the Rockets are signaling that they are in win-now shift and are a top 4 playoff contender and a now vital Western Conference. Even though they finished second in the West this past season, could they rise one spot more as the number 1 team in the West in the standings next year? And this also puts pressure on fringe playoff teams like the Sacramento Kings to not fall behind in this arms race of a competitive Western Conference. It's still loaded, but it's more fluid now, with the Suns likely taking a step back, and teams like the Lakers, who are aging. LeBron's not getting younger, even though he plays like he's young. Golden State, Steph Curry's getting older. Draymond Green's getting older. Jimmy Butler, he's not getting any older. That's an aging team. Can Scott Perry exploit this transitional phase across the conference for the Sacramento Kings? And Scott Perry's job, it just got clear. Are the Kings in a rebuild or retool? This team will never rebuild, like do a whole Oklahoma City full tear it down thing. Under this ownership group, they will not do this. There's more urgency and more opportunity now with this trade. And the path to getting back to relevancy, it opens faster. Because if the Phoenix Suns slip, this could open the door for a team like Utah, San Antonio, who should be better. And the Kings, they could push for a play-in or even a playoff spot this upcoming season if they make the right moves this season. Because you got Fox, a full year in San Antonio with Wembanyama, and you nail your offseason moves, if you're Scott Perry, you could jump into a play-in or playoff spot for next season. And the greater flexibility in this trade market, teams like Phoenix now likely reshaping the roster around Devin Booker. If you build that team around Devin Booker, Jalen Green, do the Suns and Sacramento become trade partners? Because Sacramento could potentially flip cap space or future picks into contributors like, let's say, Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, who's on an expiring deal. You got Royce O'Neal, who is a veteran wing depth. Those players could help Sacramento. Draft positioning becomes crucial because we've heard about rumors about Sacramento jumping into the first round, because right now they don't have a first round pick because of that Kevin Huerter trade. They lost their pick to the Atlanta Hawks. Could the Kings become more aggressive to trade into the draft, which starts Wednesday? And if they could package veterans, could they take on salary? And this could align with Perry's known preference of two-way, athletic wings and smart, versatile guards. That's what Scott Perry said at his introductory press conference. Two-way athletic wings beneath for a point guard and players with size and length. And now without De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento will need to reestablish a new franchise cornerstone. And could this Kevin Durant trade indirectly help? Keegan Murray, who's had a down year the past 2 years offensively, could he become the new focal point? Is he now the face of this franchise? And the Kings' success will hinge on unlocking his offensive upside. We saw what he did his rookie year. Could this unlock Keegan Murray? And also, this is an opportunity to reshape that Kings backcourt. Because as it stands right now, you got Zach LaVine at that 2 guard. And if you want to pencil in Keon Ellis as the starting point guard, that's your backcourt right now. But this, to reshape your backcourt, this may allow the Kings to explore veteran guards or developmental prospects like a Scoot Henderson. Could they trade for a guy like Scoot Henderson up there in Portland? If a trade like that happens, I don't think Portland would trade Scoot, but who knows? Luka Doncic got traded last season, and who thought that would even happen? Scott Perry can prioritize defense, which I have been advocating for because this team has been bad defensively for a while. They could prioritize defense and culture. And acquiring someone like Dillon Brooks, could Phoenix flip him? Because Dillon Brooks, whether you like him or hate him, would upgrade the Kings' defense dramatically and install a tougher defensive identity if Phoenix flips Dillon Brooks. An area where the Kings have lagged forever in the defense. They've been league average at best, near the bottom of the ranks in defense for the longest time. What does this mean for this upcoming season for Sacramento? Realistically, their ceiling is a play-in team as it stands, with upside, especially if the Kings get a new point guard that emerges around a retool, more balanced roster this offseason. Best case scenario, you have a young, modern team centered around Keegan Murray, a lottery pick guard if you can trade into the first round, and a defense-first approach that can return to Sacramento for playoff contention. The worst case scenario for Sacramento this upcoming season is the Kings remain where they are, in the middle, in NBA purgatory, watching the Houston Rockets rise and the Phoenix Suns retooling more effectively, leaving them stuck where they are, where they've been the last 2 years. That would be the absolute worst case scenario for Sacramento. The Kevin Durant trade to the Rockets, it eases some short-term pressure on Sacramento in a more volatile Western Conference, and it provides an opportunity for Scott Perry to reshape this roster with more of a long-term vision. And in a post-De'Aaron Fox era, this is now Scott Perry's chance to reset this Kings team around a defensive-minded, wing-oriented identity. And if I was Scott Perry, I am building this team around Keegan Murray, Keon Ellis, and Domantas Sabonis. Everybody else, have at it. But those are the three guys I am building this Kings team around. And you could take advantage of a Western Conference shakeups with Desmond Bane now in Orlando, Kevin Durant now in Houston, and perhaps the Kings could jump back into relevancy sooner than expected. You make the right moves this offseason, especially if the Kings capitalize on the Suns' pivot in the Kevin Durant exit, because the Kings, they got to do something. We've seen all these rumors this offseason of all these guards. I just saw one about Jordan Clarkson, a package of Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton from Utah. We've seen Ty Jerome from the Cavs. We've seen rumors about Darius Garland. We've seen all these rumors of guards for Sacramento. But this is Scott Perry's opportunity to reshape this roster and get it out of NBA purgatory and get it back to now a modern NBA team, almost like you see the Indiana Pacers, of how they have shaped that team. And look where they are. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last season, and now they are in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. That is my hope for the Sacramento Kings and what this means for them going forward this offseason and into the 2025-26 season. Let me know in the comments down below on YouTube, what does this Durant trade mean for Sacramento in your opinion? Let me know in the comments down below. And do you agree with me that the Kings need to be a defensive-minded, wing-oriented-based identity going forward? Let me know in the comments down below. That will do it for this episode of our Kings-related YouTube channel. Please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. And we'll catch you next time on another episode of our Kings-related podcast. Thank you, and go Kings.